Here's the entire history of Caitlin Clark. Born on January 22, 2002 in Des Moines, Iowa, Caitlin was raised in a sports-loving family. Her dad, Brent, worked as a vice president at a product company, while her mom, Anne, came from a line of athletic passion. Anne's father was a football coach and a school administrator at Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines. So it's no wonder that Caitlin had sports in her blood from day one. From a very young age, Caitlin's love for basketball was clear. She started playing at just 5 years old. And guess what? She didn't just play in girls' leagues like most would expect. No, Caitlin played in boys' recreational leagues because there wasn't a girls' league available for her age. Even at that young age, Caitlin was not afraid to face challenges head-on. She wanted to compete, to push herself, and to be the best she could be, no matter who she played against. But basketball wasn't the only sport in Caitlin's life. She was a multi-sport athlete, playing softball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, and even golf. Yet, it became clear early on that her true passion was basketball. At just 13, Caitlin was already playing several years ahead of her age group in girls' leagues. She was always looking for ways to challenge herself and grow as a player. Her competitive journey took a significant step forward when she joined the All-Iowa Attack, an amateur athletic union, AAU, basketball program based in Ames, Iowa, while still in the 6th grade. From that moment on, Caitlin was on a different trajectory, one that would shape her into the player she is today. With the Attack, coached by Dixon Jensen, she was surrounded by some of the best young talent in the area, including future WNBA player Ashley Jones. It was an environment that pushed Caitlin to new heights. As Caitlin grew older, she drew inspiration from some of the best in the game. She looked up to Maya Moore of the Minnesota Lynx, the closest WNBA team to her hometown, and often attended their games with her dad. Watching Maya's moves on the court, the intensity, the drive, it lit a fire in Caitlin. She also became a fan of the North Carolina Tar Heels because of All-Iowa Attack alumnus Harrison Barnes. Caitlin admired how Barnes, someone who came from a similar background, achieved his dreams, and she knew she could do the same. When it came to high school, Caitlin played varsity basketball for 4 years at Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines. She played under the guidance of head coach Kristen Meyer, and boy, did she make an impact. As a freshman, she averaged 15.3 points, 4.7 assists, and 2.3 steals per game. Her talent was undeniable from the start. She earned Class 5A All-State third-team accolades from the Iowa Newspaper Association and All-Iowa Honorable Mention from the Des Moines Register. Even as a freshman, she was already showing signs of greatness. In her sophomore year, Caitlin took her game to a whole new level. She averaged a whopping 27.1 points, 6.5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2.3 steals per game. She ranked second in the state in scoring, an incredible feat for someone so young. She earned first-team Class 5A All-State honors by the Iowa Print Sports Writers Association and was named Central Iowa Metro League Player of the Year by the Des Moines Register. She led Dowling to a 20-4 record and the Class 5A state quarterfinals. Following the season, Caitlin's leadership and skills were on full display as she led All-Iowa Attack to the Nike Elite Youth Basketball League Championship. She scored 23 points in a thrilling 64-61 victory over the Cal Storm in the final. What a clutch performance. But the real jaw-dropping moment came during her junior season. On February 4th, 2019, Caitlin exploded for 60 points in a 90-78 win against Mason City High School. Yes, you read that right, 60 points. That performance was the second highest single-game point total in Iowa 5-on-5 girls basketball history, only behind Abby Rowe in 1996. And she didn't stop there. She also set the state single-game record with 13 three-pointers. This girl was on fire. Later that same month, on February 25th, Caitlin set another record with 42 points in a triple overtime win over Waukee High School in the quarterfinals of the Class 5A state tournament. She was unstoppable. Caitlin led her team to the semifinals and ended the season with a 17-8 record. That year, she led the entire state in scoring, averaging an astounding 32.6 points per game. For her incredible efforts, she was named Iowa Gatorade Player of the Year and repeated as a Class 5A All-State first-team selection by the IPSWA. When Caitlin reached her senior year, her numbers were even more spectacular. She averaged 33.4 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2.7 steals per game, once again leading the state in scoring. She carried her team to a 19-4 record, but they were unfortunately upset in the Class 5A regional final by Sioux City East High School. Despite that, Caitlin's high school career was nothing short of legendary. She finished with the 4th most points, 2,547, and the 6th most three-pointers, 283, in Iowa 5-on-5 history. She was awarded Iowa Gatorade Player of the Year, Des Moines Register All-Iowa Athlete of the Year, and Iowa Miss Basketball, while also making the IPSWA NCWA Class 5A All-State First Team. It was a senior season to remember. Caitlin's talent wasn't just limited to the basketball court. In her first 2 years at Dowling, she was a star on the varsity soccer team, scoring 23 goals in her freshman season. She was named to the Class 3A All-Iowa team by the Des Moines Register. But as she progressed through high school, it became clear that her future was on the hardwood. She decided to focus solely on basketball for her final 2 years, and the results speak for themselves. Her incredible high school career earned her spots in both the McDonald's All-American Game and the Jordan Brand Classic, two of the most prestigious high school all-star games. Unfortunately, both games were canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but that didn't take away from her achievements and the recognition she deserved. But then Clark started to get heavily recruited for college ball. Well, actually, she was on the radar of NCAA Division I programs from an incredibly young age. Imagine receiving your first letter of interest from Missouri State before you're even in 7th grade. That's how special Caitlin was. By her sophomore season at Dowling Catholic, ESPN had already ranked her as the #1 player in the 2020 high school class. She had the talent, the skills, and the drive that everyone wanted on their team. As she wrapped up her high school career, Caitlin was considered a 5-star recruit and ranked as the 4th best player in her class by ESPN. The pressure was on, and her family had strong hopes for her to join Notre Dame, powerhouse in women's college basketball. She even made a verbal commitment to Notre Dame's then head coach Muffet McGraw, but Caitlin had her own plans. She never signed a national letter of intent with Notre Dame and soon decided to take a different path. On November 12, 2019, she announced her commitment to play for Iowa. Why Iowa? Caitlin loved their fast-paced offense and the way head coach Lisa Bluter developed point guards. Plus, with Kathleen Doyle, the reigning Big Ten Player of the Year, leaving, Caitlin saw an immediate opportunity to step in and make her mark from the get-go. And then she got to Iowa, and well, we all know this story. Caitlin Clark exploded onto the scene in her freshman year at Iowa, taking the college basketball world by storm. Right from the start, she stepped into the role of Iowa's starting point guard, and she did not disappoint. On November 25, 2020, in her very first college game, she put up an incredible 27 points, along with 8 rebounds and 4 assists, leading Iowa to a 96-81 win over Northern Iowa. What a debut. Just 1 game later, on December 2nd, Clark showed she wasn't a one-hit wonder. She recorded her first double-double with 30 points and 13 assists in a thrilling 103-97 victory over Drake. This was just the beginning of what would be an unforgettable freshman season. Then on December 22nd, Clark did something no Iowa player had done since 2015. She notched a triple-double. Despite a rough shooting night, 3 of 15 from the field, she still managed 13 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists in a 92-65 win over Western Illinois. Talk about filling up the stat sheet. As the season went on, Clark continued to put up monster numbers. On January 6th, 2021, she scored a career-high 37 points, grabbed 11 rebounds, and dished out 4 assists in a 92-79 win over Minnesota. And just when you thought she couldn't top that, she dropped 39 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists in an 88-81 victory over Nebraska on February 11th, setting a new scoring record for Pinnacle Bank Arena, Nebraska's home court. She was unstoppable. Clark's play was electric and the awards came rolling in. She was named Big Ten Freshman of the Year unanimously, was a first-team All-Big Ten selection, and set a conference record by winning Big Ten Freshman of the Week, a whopping 13 times. She also grabbed 5 Big Ten Player of the Week awards, leading the conference in both categories. At the end of the regular season, Clark helped Iowa to a runner-up finish in the Big Ten tournament, where she set another record with 37 assists in the event, earning a spot on the all-tournament team. In the NCAA tournament, she kept making history. In the second round, she dropped 35 points, grabbed 7 boards, and had 6 assists in a big win over Kentucky, setting program records for points and 3-pointers made in a tournament game. Iowa made it to the Sweet 16, where they fell to top-seeded UConn, but Clark still shined, scoring 21 points. By the end of her freshman year, she was a first-team All-American by the USBWA, a second-team All-American by the AP, and made the WBCA Coaches All-America team. She was also the first freshman ever to win the Don Staley Award for the best guard in Division I. Clark finished the season leading all of Division I in scoring with 26.6 points per game and was second in assists and 3-pointers per game. Overall, an insane year. Then comes her sophomore season. Clark entered her sophomore season with high expectations, and she lived up to every single one. In her season opener on November 9th, 2021, she scored 26 points, had 8 rebounds, and dished out 6 assists in a 93-50 blowout win over New Hampshire. By January 2nd, 2022, she was making headlines again, scoring 44 points in a game against Evansville and breaking the single-game scoring record for Carver Hawkeye. She also became the fastest Big Ten player to reach 1,000 career points. unreal. Her sophomore year was filled with jaw-dropping performances. On January 16, 2022, she recorded her fourth career triple-double with 31 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists against Nebraska. Then, just 4 days later, she became the first Division I player, male or female, to record back-to-back 30-point triple-doubles, posting 35 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists in a win over Minnesota. Her versatility was on full display when she had 18 assists in a game against Penn State on January 25th, setting a new school record and tying the conference record. Clark's season high came on February 6th when she scored 46 points, 25 in the fourth quarter alone, against Michigan. She set another arena record for single-game scoring at Michigan's Chrysler Center. Her performances earned her unanimous Big Ten Player of the Year honors and another first-team All-Big Ten nod. She led Iowa to a Big Ten tournament title and was named the tournament's most outstanding player. However, in the second round of the NCAA tournament, Iowa suffered a heartbreaking loss to 10th-seeded Creighton. Despite the loss, Clark was again a unanimous first-team All-American and became the first player to win both the Nancy Lieberman Award and the Dawn Staley Award in the same year. She averaged 27 points, IPS-WA, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists per game, leading the entire NCAA Division I in both points and assists per game. She was in a league of her own, but Clark's junior year was even more spectacular. She entered the season as a unanimous AP preseason All-American and was the Big Ten preseason Player of the Year. She was ready to dominate. On November 18th, she suffered a minor ankle injury in a narrow loss to Kansas State, but bounced back just 2 days later with a 33-point performance against Belmont. Nothing could slow her down. Clark continued to break records left and right. On December 1st, she poured in a season-high 45 points against NC State. Just a few days later, she recorded her 7th career triple-double against Wisconsin, becoming the Big Ten's all-time leader in triple-doubles. By December 21st, she had scored 2,000 career points faster than any player since Elena Del Don. She kept making history. One of her standout moments came on February 26th, when she nailed a buzzer-beater three-pointer to beat Indiana 86-85. The crowd went wild. She repeated as Big Ten Player of the Year and led Iowa to another Big Ten tournament championship, earning another MOP honor. In the final, she had 30 points, 17 assists, and 10 rebounds for the first triple-double in a Big Ten tournament final. She moved to second all-time in Division I career triple-doubles. Clark's run in the NCAA tournament was legendary. She became the first player, men's or women's, to record a 30 or 40-point triple-double in the Elite Eight, putting up 41 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds in a win over Louisville. She led Iowa to the Final Four for the first time since 1993 and stunned undefeated South Carolina in the semifinals with another 41-point performance. Her heroics broke records for most points in a single NCAA tournament with 191, and she set a new mark with 60 assists. Despite a valiant effort in the national championship game, where Clark scored 30 points and hit 8 three-pointers, a record for any title game, Iowa fell to LSU. The game sparked a lot of conversation, especially around the intense competition and a bit of on-court trash talk between Clark and LSU star Angel Reese. Clark, showing maturity beyond her years, defended Reese and highlighted the importance of sportsmanship, adding another layer to her growing legacy. By the end of the season, Clark had swept every major National Player of the Year award, including the Wooden Award, the Naismith Trophy, and the Wade Trophy, becoming the first unanimous National Player of the Year in Big Ten history. She also took home the Nancy Lieberman Award again and became the first ever three-time winner of the Dawn Staley Award. She averaged 27.8 points, 8.6 assists, and 7.1 rebounds, leading Division I in assists and finishing second in scoring. Her historic season earned her the ESP for Best Female College Athlete, the Honda Cup, and the James E. Sullivan Award. But then, we all know the legendary senior season. Kicking things off, Clark put on a show like no other in the crossover at Kinnick on October 15th, 2023. This wasn't just any game, it was an outdoor exhibition game at Kinnick Stadium against DePaul, and Clark delivered a mind-blowing performance with a triple-double, 34 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. Clark didn't slow down one bit when the regular season rolled around. In just her second game, on November 9th, she exploded for 44 points, along with 8 rebounds and 6 assists, leading her team to a thrilling 80-76 victory over Virginia Tech, ranked 8th in the AP poll. Her fire was contagious, and just a few days later, she notched her 12th career triple-double against Northern Iowa with 24 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds. Oh, and she also became Iowa's all-time leading scorer in the process. She was now only the second player in Division I history to post a triple-double in 4 different seasons, joining none other than Sabrina Ionescu. Just incredible. Then Clark kept making history. 1 week later, she dropped 35 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, and a jaw-dropping 7 steals against Drake. In doing so, she passed Kelsey Plum for the most 30-point games in women's division of her history, and she wasn't done there. On December 6th, Clark became the 15th Division this line player to reach 3,000 career points, doing so as the second fastest in history. She put up 35 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists against Iowa State in a rivalry game that kept everyone on the edge of their seats. Her knack for the dramatic was unmatched. The honors kept rolling in as well. Just a few days after reaching 3,000 points, she was named Co-Sporting News Athlete of the Year with Angel Reese. She narrowly missed out on AP Female Athlete of the Year, coming in second to the legendary Simone Biles. Her recognition across all sports continued to elevate her status as one of the best athletes of her generation. In her final non-conference game on December 21st, Clark put on yet another stunning performance, recording a triple-double with 35 points, 17 rebounds, and 10 assists in a blowout win over Loyola Chicago. Then, on December 30th against Minnesota, she posted another 35 points and 10 assists to become the Big Ten's all-time leader in assists. She was breaking records faster than they could be written down. And then came January, where Clark seemed to be on a mission to shatter every record in the book. On January 2nd, she hit a long, buzzer-beating three-pointer to down Michigan State, capping off a 40-point night. She wasn't just playing basketball, she was creating magic. Her next few games saw back-to-back triple-doubles against Rutgers and Purdue. She was named Big Ten Player of the Week for a record-breaking 24th time. She kept climbing those all-time lists, breaking the Big Ten all-time scoring record previously held by Kelsey Mitchell and surpassing Samantha Prahalis of Ohio State for the Big Ten career assists record, all in the same season. The month of February came with a special twist. Fox Sports decided they needed a Caitlin Cam during their broadcasts to capture all of Clark's incredible moments, and there were plenty to catch. She became just the 6th player in Division I women's history to record 1,000 career assists. Shortly after, she passed Kelsey Plum to become the NCAA Division I women's career scoring leader, putting up a career-high 49 points, 13 assists, and 5 rebounds against Michigan. She was breaking records with every step. Clark's consistency and clutch performances continued as she moved deeper into the season. She passed Lynette Woodard to become the all-time leading scorer among major women's college players, and during a February 28th game, she recorded her second consecutive triple-double, leading Iowa to a 108-60 win over Minnesota. She broke the Big Ten career three-pointers record, surpassing Kelsey Mitchell yet again, and set the NCAA single-season record in the same category. Clark was redefining greatness. As the regular season wrapped up, Clark cemented her place in history by becoming the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer among both men's and women's players, surpassing the legendary Pete Maravich. She scored 35 points in a victory over AP number 2 Ohio State, showcasing her ability to dominate on any stage against any opponent. With every game, she added another chapter to her epic journey. Clark's senior season was capped with a slew of awards. She was once again named Big Ten Player of the Year, won multiple National Player of the Year awards, and received the Nancy Lieberman Award as the top point guard for 3rd consecutive time. She averaged a staggering 31.6 points, 8.9 assists, and 7.4 rebounds per game, leading Division I in scoring and assists. She left Iowa with records that may never be broken: 3,951 career points, 548 three-pointers, 17 triple-doubles, and 1,144 assists. An absolute icon. So that's that for her college basketball career. Maybe the best college basketball player ever, about every record you can think of. But then, we're headed to the W, and here, even more records. On April 15th, 2024, Caitlin Clark was selected as the first overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever. During her introductory press conference on April 17th, Clark set a bold goal for her new team: to end their 7-year playoff drought, the longest in WNBA history. On April 27th, she signed her rookie-scale contract with the Fever. Clark's debut came on May 14th, 2024, where she scored 20 points in a 92-71 loss to the Connecticut Sun. However, she committed 10 turnovers, setting a record for the most turnovers in a debut in WNBA history. Just 10 days later, Clark achieved her first double-double with 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists, leading the Fever to their first regular season win over the Los Angeles Sparks, 78-73. On May 28th, In a rematch with the Sparks, Clark put up a career-high 30 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds, although the Fever fell 88-82. During this game, Clark became the fastest WNBA rookie to surpass 100 points and 50 assists in just 8 games. She was named the league's Rookie of the Month in May, averaging 17.6 points, 6.6 assists, and 5.1 rebounds per game. On June 7, 2024, Clark matched her career high with 30 points and tied Crystal Robinson's rookie single-game record with 7 three-pointers. She also added 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals, leading her team to an 85-83 win over the Washington Mystics. On June 23rd, Clark set a Fever single-game record with 13 assists, along with 17 points and 6 rebounds, despite a narrow 88-87 loss to the Chicago Sky. By July 2nd, Clark had been selected for the WNBA All-Star Game, receiving the most fan votes of any player in the league with 735 votes. Just 4 days later, Clark made history as the first WNBA rookie and the first Fever player ever to record a triple-double, posting 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists in an 83-78 victory over the New York Liberty, who had the best record in the league at that time. After registering her 6th turnover in the Fever's July 14, 2024, win over the Minnesota Lynx, Clark set the WNBA single-season record for turnovers. On July 17th, at Dallas, she set a new WNBA record and career high for most assists in a single game with 19 dimes. During that game, Clark also broke the WNBA record for most points created, scoring or assisting on 66 points of the Fever's 93 points in their 93-101 loss to Dallas. Clark was named the league's Rookie of the Month for July, averaging 20.3 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 12.5 assists per game. She was also named the starting point guard for Team WNBA in the 2024 All-Star Game, becoming the 7th rookie in WNBA history to start, and the 3rd Fever rookie after Tamika Catchings and Aaliyah Boston. 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 9.2 assists in her first 2 games. Back from the Olympic break, Clark was named AP Player of the Week on August 20th and WNBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week on August 27. On August 28, 2024, Clark broke the record for three-pointers made in a rookie season, surpassing Ryan Howard's record of 85, set in her 2022 rookie season. In the Fever's August 30th 181 win over the Chicago Sky, Clark registered a career-high 31 points with 12 assists. During this game, she also became the all-time leader in games with 10-plus assists by a rookie, 9. Games with 20-plus points and 10-plus assists, 5. And double-doubles by a guard in a single season, 11. On September 3, 2024, the Indiana Fever clinched their spot in the 2024 WNBA playoffs, ending their 7-year playoff drought. That same day, Clark was named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week for the 2nd consecutive week. After averaging 24.0 points, 8.5 assists, and 5.2 rebounds per game in August, Clark was named the Rookie of the Month for the 3rd time and August's Eastern Conference Player of the Month. With this honor, Clark became the first rookie in WNBA history to earn the Player of the Month award. On September 4th, the Fever defeated Los Angeles 93-86, with Clark posting 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, marking her 2nd career triple-double. During this game, she also made her 100th three-pointer, becoming the first rookie to achieve this milestone and the fastest player in WNBA history to do so in just 34 games. It was also Clark's 3rd consecutive game with at least 20 points and 10 assists, matching Courtney Vandersloot's streak from 2017 as the longest in WNBA history. Caitlin Clark has been incredible overall. As of right now, that's where we stand with her career. But really, we all know it's only going to get greater as time goes on. If you love basketball, please consider subscribing. I post very often. Thanks for watching.